welcome back to another episode.
Man, what going for the man there? Let's talk about the Champions League. Arsenal, PSG.
A lot of Arsenal fans were saying that they finally have depth in their team though.
They have depth, but in terms of like top-end quality, I think Liverpool have more.
The answer is simply, there's no excuse. It has to be done now.
Iconic moments in derbies.
Arsenal won the league at Tottenham.
No.
Galatasaray away is never fucking easy, bro.
Well, you're talking about players' ego. Managers have egos. Putting it for his head is
overreactionary.
Overreactionary. No,
when we spend money, yeah, it's you spent money and you couldn't beat so. And
I think Ekatike has been the only signing that's come in.
Thank you.
That has looked level.
Say it again.
100%.
Palmer, Lavia, and Caicedo midfield three.
These guys just need to stay fit. Yeah. The talent is there. If these guys can give us 1 year of just fitness.
This is FCM on DR Sports, and it's...
Let's go.
What do you do with yours? I do unlimited football content.
Well, I do unlimited bragging.
Well, I do unlimited swiping right.
Well, I do unlimited doom scrolling.
Well, I do unlimited sliding into the DMs.
Well, I do watching TikTok on the bus without headphones unlimited.
Oh, gosh.
Yes, people, you heard that right. We teamed up with Rocket Mobile to make the mobile phone plan for football fans in the UK. It's unlimited calls, text, data, and 20 gigs to use when you go abroad for just £16 a month, plus perks, content, and other prizes as soon as you make that switch. So either click the link below at the end of the video if you're watching on YouTube, or if you're watching on Samsung TV or YouTube, scan the QR code bottom right-hand side of your screen, just over there, to check out the fantastic deal. And speaking of fantastic stuff, last night in the Champions League, so in the Premier League, we had 20 goals across all 10 games last weekend, right? Yeah, in the Champions League last night alone, we had 17. We had some spectacular games. And joining me on the panel on my right-hand side first is Laurie. How you doing? Yeah,
good, man. Good.
I think have you been on this week? Did you come on Monday?
Yeah, I think I wasn't.
You come on Monday, yeah.
I'm not sure.
With FJ. Yeah, he was.
Oh, yeah, I was.
FJ was on a wind-up on Monday. Wow.
Yeah,
and then on the other side, we got Kenya again.
What's up?
So watch out.
Whoa, what do you mean again?
Yeah, I know. That's what I said to Robbie before. They just throw me in front of Arsenal fans again, man. But I got to say, because we got to start talking about last night, man. Because last night,
amazing.
Atalanta 4-1 Dortmund, Juventus 3-2 Galatasaray, PSG 2-2 Monaco, Real Madrid 2-1 Benfica. It was a mad night and a night of beautiful goals as well.
Oh, it was amazing. I watched the Atalanta Dortmund game, right? I was having a bit of a hate watch for personal reasons, right? And honestly, Atalanta from minute one was gang pressing them, like on them. I was so happy for them, because it was like they deserved it. They turned up to it like, right, we're 2-0 down, but we're 100% turning this over.
Scored in 6
minutes. Skamaka literally in the first 5. First 5 minutes, he's just down the other end, banged in. The second goal, Zappacosta. The third goal, great work. Then Adeyemi comes on, gets one back. And that penalty, I was having an argument with my friend that supports Dortmund, right? And he's like, it's not a penalty.
It's a pen every day.
I was like, that is the most pen red card you were ever... Literally kicked him in the face. I don't know what the goalkeeper was doing.
He said that wasn't a red card?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, he said it's not a pen. And I was like, what are you talking about? He kicked him in the face. Yeah. He's like, he touched the ball a bit. I was like, no. What he did was dangerous and reckless.
If studs at any point
in the face, he was bleeding.
Here. Yeah, that was the thing.
He was literally bleeding.
So I didn't watch the game, but I watched the highlights, and then I saw the clash.
I saw the
clash, and I was like, I wonder if that's a pen or not, because I didn't know how the goals went.
And then
as soon as you see him go like this, and there is blood coming down his face,
everywhere.
I'm like, bro, that's a ban.
I was genuinely shocked that the ref bottled that decision on the pitch, because I'm just sat in my living room watching this, and even I saw that's a pen.
I saw that, and the first thing that crossed my mind was, what a reckless thing to do.
Exactly.
Because what the refrain normally is when people do stuff, I didn't mean it, I went for the ball. But come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of understand in the way that he misread the flight of the ball and tried to adjust to try and get something on it to nick it away or something. But you've got to know that there is a bloke right behind you.
Exactly.
You've got to know that he's right. As you're a defender, your job is to know where they are.
Don't get me wrong, right? The goalkeeper's at fault 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Because
goalkeeper caused the entire situation.
The goalkeeper causes the whole situation by essentially just passing the ball straight to one of the Atalanta players, right?
Yeah.
But I still do think, I think it's Emre Can. I'm like, bro, you're an experienced player. Like, go and head the ball. He could have even, like, I don't know, just his whole reading of it. I even think if there wasn't a player there, is even that the right decision to do, to almost do this, like, back karate?
Guys, you know what that is, right? I'll tell you straight up. It's cowardice.
Yeah.
You use your head in that situation.
Exactly. You head the ball.
But what he did is he was afraid of the contact, so he cowardly put his foot up there.
And that actually cost him, because up until that point, it's 3-3 on aggregate. So essentially, you're going into extra time where you can regroup and say, right, we've been terrible for 90 minutes, but we're still in this tie. Do you know what I mean?
That was a classic case of a
crazy
player who doesn't want to put his head in where it might hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Red cards flying,
like
amazing.
you're it's not even like your bonus is on the line here. Your game-winning bonus, your Champions League bonus is on the line here. Use your head. It's fine. You'll be okay.
Do you know what's peak?
Instead, he assaulted someone else's head.
Do you know what's peak? They got Bayern Munich this week.
Yeah.
They got Bayern Munich next. I think they played Leipzig, allegedly got robbed in that. Then they've played Atalanta. They were genuinely shocking. I was really surprised. I thought they'd really be up for it. So bad, missed so many chances, so many sitters. And now you got Bayern next.
So does that mean then that's the one Italian
season's
club
finished.
that's through?
Yeah,
They're the only one,
Atalanta.
because on the other hand, actually, before we move on to the Juventus game as well, I want to give a bit of shout out to Adeyemi for his lovely goal.
Yeah,
Very, very good goal.
Yeah.
He's a Prem player, I think he is.
No.
I'm not necessarily in Big Six.
He is
but
a Prem player,
I think
right?
he could
But
do well in the Prem.
me and my dad were talking about this. I was like, what is the difference between him and Martinelli, per se? Another player that relies on speed to beat someone, misses too many chances, if we're being honest.
I'm thinking like an Njai replacement at Everton kind of thing.
Why would you want to replace Njai at Everton?
Because Njai is going to move on to bigger things.
Yeah,
with all due respect to Everton.
Right.
And Njai, I think, can bag a top six.
Adeyemi is a good player, but
club.
I do think he's very overrated.
I
mean, every time I've watched him, I think he's looked good.
That's a crazy one, actually, because he's starting in Baller League and all that.
Yeah, no, I think he's fantastic.
I love him. That's the trust I'm
Well, yeah, but think about Semenyo. Yeah. Semenyo was who was he? What's that com of him playing against? What was the YouTuber that he was playing against? PK Humble.
Oh yeah.
There's clips of Semenyo going one-on-one against PK Humble, and now he's gone to Man City. I think it's the kind of route that is becoming much more common in the Premier League now at the moment. Like obviously Jamie Vardy is the modern time kind of peak thing of that. But Semenyo's 24 and Jai's 22, 23 years old.
Yeah,
I can see him in the Prem. But then also as well, Juventus getting knocked out 5-7 on aggregate to Galatasaray.
So sorry for them. One of the few times I feel sorry for them, because they actually did so well, got it back, and then just couldn't defend in the last moments, really. Weston McKennie, big him up. He scores that goal and you're like, oh my God, they're actually going to do it. They're actually going to come back. But Victor Osimhen scores. I forgot who scored after that. They just kind of killed the game.
Yeah.
But I think if you're I think basically Spurs or Liverpool can get Gala next, right? I'd be looking at it like, this is a very volatile team. Although they were able to score a lot of goals in the first leg, you can actually come back and beat these teams. No offense, this is a team full of older players out of their prime now. This isn't a prime Gundogan, for example, or a Torreira or an Icardi. Do you know what I mean? So you can actually still beat them. But yeah, it's peak for Juve, to be honest.
Actually, it's funny enough when I was watching the Galatasaray game and I was just seeing the number of names pop up that I've not seen in ages. Like Lucas Torreira, for example.
Mario Lemina.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So many.
Davinson Sanchez.
Yeah, Davinson Sanchez. He gave away a penalty.
Yeah, he did.
I was like, oh my God. I was like, I didn't know he was here.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was here either.
It's always a Turkish league, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so random.
You think someone might have retired, then turns out they've just been Galatasaray, Fenerbahce.
Sacha Boey. I was like, I thought you was at Bayern. Leroy Sané was playing last night. Do you know what I mean? It just felt so surreal.
It's so bizarre, isn't it? But yeah, Osimhen was. He should be in.
He didn't celebrate. Did you see?
He
scored that goal.
He was speaking about Juventus, saying that. I think he claimed before the game 90% of footballers would want to play for Juventus.
Well, I think when he was at
Osimhen,
was at Napoli, he was actually twerking really hard for Juventus. But obviously, Napoli were like, we're not going to sell you to a direct rival. It's just not going to happen. So, and I think, to be fair, what he says is right. Juventus are still a massive club. They're probably biggest Italian club.
90%.
Not 90%, but I still think if you
Juventus
asked,
come calling,
I feel like if you asked a player if you could play for an Italian team, I think the majority would say either AC or Juventus because they're the two biggest. Do you know what I mean? They've got the most heritage and history. So I kind of see what he was trying to say. But I'm not picking Juve over a Prem team.
So he's not celebrating because he's got love for Juventus.
I don't know why he didn't say why he didn't celebrate. I thought he didn't celebrate because he was a bit annoyed because essentially he got no service in that game.
Yeah,
and he didn't
night
score.
Nothing.
He didn't score in the first leg either. So it was kind of like
you seem to be suggesting that, or was it you, that his level of respect for Juventus is so high that he scores a goal against them and won't celebrate.
Well, we're just kind of like laying out what's been happening between Oshimin and Juve, because as well, Juventus were really interested in Oshimin when he was leaving Napoli. When he had the whole argument with Napoli, but Napoli effectively just went, "We're not selling you to
we're not selling
Juventus.
you
We're not selling you to anyone else in this league." Because he had a release clause at Napoli, but it was only for teams outside Italy,
outside of Serie A.
But you know what I'm going to say? I wish Oshimin had that same level of respect for his own Nigerian national football team, because if you're telling me that this man's not going to celebrate a goal against Juventus because of his love for...
I don't know the reason why. I don't know the reason why he didn't celebrate. At the time, I thought it was more of he was just a bit annoyed because he didn't score in the first leg, although he played really well. And then in the second leg, he literally got zero service. So it kind of looked like a bad performance, but then he ends up scoring.
But also the same way, if you're going away from home and you're 2-0,
you're 3-0 up.
5-2 up.
You're
3-0
up basically,
going away
and
from home.
you nearly blow it. I can understand why I didn't celebrate.
I did say
but also as well, you don't play attacking football when you're in that scenario going away from home 5-2 up.
I did see him after with Del Piero, like paying homage to him and bowing down.
He is a goat though, but I'm not. I see what
you know. What I say less.
Are you sure you say less?
I say less. I think I've made my point. There's more I could say, but I've made my point.
But okay, fine. Well, we'll move on to PSG Monaco.
Yeah.
Which was PSG 3-2 up from the first leg. It was red cards.
There was a red card yesterday as well.
3 of the 4 games.
Sorry, that Juventus red card as well. I don't know about that.
Oh yeah, actually, I was going to ask you about the.
Sorry, I forgot to mention that.
I don't agree with it.
I don't agree with that. That was so harsh.
The red card Juventus
for Lloyd Kelly.
Oh yeah.
So he
that was really horrible.
And like lands on his calf.
Yeah, I'm just like, you jump in the air. What else is he supposed to do? I think there has to be common sense.
But then he was already sent off, wasn't he? Because he was given a second yellow for the challenge.
Yeah.
And then got given a second yellow for
Then they sent him to the screen.
He took away the yellow and then
took away the yellow
red. That's another one of those scenarios where, for me, I look at it and go, this is where the rules become too much.
Yeah.
Like the whole, obviously we've spoken loads about the Man City Liverpool stuff with Cherki's goal. It's like kind of allow it. In that scenario, it's like you're taking away his double yellow to give him a straight red. Who cares, man? He's already sent off. Just
I saw this.
It's not like he's going to get a 3-game ban instead of a 1-game ban now. It's a complete accident.
Yeah,
he jumps in the air, he's looking at the ball, and the other bloke's ankle lands underneath him. It's also peak, because I don't think it's a red card to start with, but he got himself sent off. It may be a yellow card, and then he got himself sent off by dissenting, as if that's the way to phrase it, from the referee. If that makes sense.
I like to see referees clamp down on dissent a bit more, actually. Sometimes, I mean, maybe it's a nose.
I like seeing clamp down on corners.
But when you see these players...
a crybaby. You guys score a lot of corners.
Players openly telling referees to F off and gesticulating in front and being aggressive towards refs, I find that a little disconcerting. So, if he gets sent off for dissent,
Yeah, but either way, another throwback name, Wout Faes missing in the dying moments for Monaco.
So
By the way, an easy chance.
I hate him, man.
Dead easy chance.
He's so bad. I watched that first leg as well, and I was just like, how have you scammed your way into a European club?
Not even that, to living in Monaco.
Exactly. It's like
he's gone from getting relegated horrendously with Leicester.
I was like,
to living the life in tax-free haven Monaco.
Leicester was too good for you. It actually frustrates me, annoys me, because I'm just like, how have you scammed your way into the beautiful sport? He is not good in any way, shape, or form. He gets called up as well. Why are you getting called up? He's not good at all. Then I saw him miss that easy chance. I was like, if that's Gabriel, are you crazy?
That's most other players.
If that's Gabriel, Maguire, anyone with a thinking brain, that goes in. Yeah. And I was just like, what is wrong with this guy?
Lisandro Martinez probably.
It was actually harder to miss than it was to score. Not even joking.
Yeah,
No.
He is dead centre of the goal, about 6 yards from it. He misses.
Yeah, that was
crazy.
horrendous.
But either way, the reigning champions are through.
I'm glad they got through it.
Round,
I want them.
I think that's further proof as to why it's always best to play someone that's not in your league. Like as English clubs, we always say oh, I don't want to play Newcastle, I don't want to play Liverpool over two legs or Arsenal or whatever. But it's like when you play someone who's in your league, they obviously know how you play every week. They know you in and out, so it's going to be harder.
Yeah.
Than if you play like a club from a completely different league where they're still.
But I can't lie though. If United aren't involved, I do quite like an all-prem Champions League tie. Some of them have been so. Think about like the City Liverpool ones, or went City Spurs a few seasons ago, because it's two Premier League teams in a completely different context to how they normally play each other.
True, but I still think
they're normally quite fun.
I still think, like, based on recent years, if I can remember right, I still think it's very similar to a Premier League game. Because you've got two teams that essentially, so like if we were to play like Newcastle over two legs in this part of the Champions League,
but there's such a massive disparity between Arsenal and Newcastle.
Okay, so if we were to play Man City, I already know how both teams are going to play. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to be.
I kind of hear it, but
do you know what I mean? I already know
from my perspective.
It's going to be so boring.
Neutral perspective, I just think it's quite fun.
It's certain. Well, it's fun for you as a neutral.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Is I said as long as United aren't involved,
it's maybe more fun for you because it's like two Prem teams. They're gonna have a harder game type of thing, rather than if Man City were to play like, I don't know, I know Inter knocked out, I don't know, like a Real Madrid or a Sporting, for example. It's not as difficult as playing a Premier League team at this current moment in time.
Mm-hmm.
What I would say, I'm glad PSG went through, because of all the European teams out there, I kind of like PSG. They have a, dare I say, a certain amount of je ne sais quoi about them. I like the way they play.
Is that just because they're French?
Well, the term is French.
No, I know.
The term is French.
Well, that is funny enough.
No, but the way they play football.
That's their aim.
Exactly.
They came out. It came out recently. The PSG, kind of, as well as obviously they want to be one of the biggest clubs in the West, best clubs in the world, biggest clubs in the world. But one of their aims is they want to be every English fan's second team. That's actually a thing they came out and said.
I wouldn't say they're a second team. I wouldn't put it that way.
No, but I mean in a way of like, okay, non-Prem teams, who do you like? They want to be known as the team people like.
They've got some very good players, and I like the style of football. And I just think that they're good for the game overall.
They have become more likeable since the Messi, Neymar, Mbappe-ness left them. I would say that.
See, I don't mind PSG, right? But how is PSG any different than Man City or Chelsea? That's where I really struggle. Like,
I agree.
This is a club that, no offense, is quite a recently created club that has... You know, I'm not
been
really
supercharged and backed by money elsewhere.
To be honest, I'm not one of those people that actually cares about, they're owned by a state. Like, I don't really care. Do you know what I mean? Every owner has maybe some weird background. Do you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is with every club. But I just think people will say, I love PSG, but then also say, I don't like Man City or I don't like Chelsea, when actually PSG are very similar to those clubs, especially if you're a French fan that watches Ligue 1, you'd be like... Well, it's not any different. They've just come in, pumped in a load of money with all these different sponsors, made themselves this massive, big branded club, buy all the best players, don't really, care about maybe...
But isn't that the prototype for football all over the world?
No, I'm not disagreeing, but my point is just like, people will say they love PSG and then hate Man City.
I'm not on that train.
Whereas I just kind of see them both the same, whereas PSG, their brand is just better. It's more positive than a Man City. Do you know see what I'm saying? Or like their brand, like you think of them as like, it's a very fashionable club. They're in Paris. Like, do you know what I mean? They kind of have those elements that make them cool.
Yeah. I would say this. I would say this.
Yeah, trendy.
It's a very trendy club.
In reference to what you were saying, if you go across London, right, we're in London, so let's talk about London. If you look at people in football shirts outside of this country, then PSG, by far, you see more PSG shirts in London than any other European club, I would say. Oh, maybe...
Real Madrid.
Sorry, Real Madrid. Yeah, Real Madrid and PSG are the two clubs.
I've
seen more PSG shirts in London recently.
You go down Oxford Street, there's a PSG store there.
There's a PSG store, but I'm questioning the Real Madrid one.
I personally see quite a few Real Madrid shirts. Like when I go gym and stuff like that as well, I actually see a lot of Real Madrid.
Yeah,
tops.
actually, fair maybe. It's
Do you know what I mean?
You see more.
Or when
I
think about
I own a Real Madrid.
yeah,
kit.
think about when
Yeah.
you think about when you kind of I've seen
got a
Pop
Valverde
Cams in a Real
purple kit,
Madrid.
yeah.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like I just think when I'm out and about sometimes, you know, when you go to like festivals and stuff, you see people in football shirts. I always see them in PSG and Real Madrid shirts.
PSG shirts. is a
Yeah,
big one,
outside
yeah.
of like Premier League.
PSG,
Remember, it used to be
knockoff PSG Messi kit from like
Used to
3 years
be-
ago.
It used to be Real Madrid and Barcelona. Now it's
Yeah.
Real Madrid and PSG.
Yeah,
you
I
rarely
see
see
people
shirts from
bopping
any-
about him too much.
Actually, where I live, you will see quite a few Galatasaray shirts because
Oh yeah.
in North London there's a big Turkish community, and obviously,
Yeah,
you
boy.
see that. But
Yep. But also, finally, just before we move on to what the comment section really want us to talk about, which is
sorry,
the
guys.
title, is the Real Madrid beat Benfica 2-1.
Yes.
Vini Jr. scoring again, doing the same celebration, which I rate so much.
Yeah.
Did in front of the Real Madrid fans this time, obviously, because
Yeah.
it's just the closest corner flag.
was getting booed.
They're through. Benfica are out. There's a whole, I think, it's kind of possibly good for European football, or like
Yeah.
that Benfica aren't going to be in the headlines too
Yeah,
much
yeah.
now because they're gone. Because obviously if they're beating Real Madrid, that could have been a bit mad. But
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
2-1 win. Rafael de Silva opened the scoring, interesting,
yeah.
but
He
Tchouaméni
scored
scored a
again.
lovely goal.
Yeah.
Tchouaméni's goal, by the way,
Yeah, it was great.
beautiful goal.
Big up Coach Camps.
16th minute, Vini Jr. scores in the 80th minute, done and dusted.
that was Vinny being vindicated.
Yeah.
Vindicated.
Yeah. So it's funny because this is something that I wouldn't normally do. I actually stayed at home to watch that game, and I can honestly say that rarely, if ever, do I want Real Madrid to win a game. So for me to stay at home and want Real Madrid to win a game is quite rare. But I was obviously
Yeah.
backing Vinny Jr. and when he scored, that was a great moment.
Would you
It's
say
a great
it's,
goal, by the way, as well. The way he took.
Oh
that
yeah,
goal
very
was
nice goal.
Fantastic.
Would you say that it's that win is kind of an overall win for football?
Yeah, of course.
100%.
I think so.
And I think one of the players said that. Was it Tchouaméni who said that?
Yeah. I think
I don't
Tchouaméni
know.
said it after the game.
What win
Yeah.
for football?
Yeah, he basically said that to win football. And I do agree. I think, you know, what's happened is very sad. And I think the lack of sympathy from some of the ex-pros, some of the people on punditry. I was, at the time, I heard what Mark Clattenburg said. That still doesn't sit right with me. Do you know what I mean? These are professionals, people that were ex-referees. Do you know what I mean? You have people like
Can I just say
Sergio
something on that
Aguero.
quickly? You
Yeah.
know what? You know when, speaking as a black person, right? So, and I'm sure you agree with this, when things like this happen, then you see people for who they
They
are.
really are.
You
Yeah.
see
True
the
colours
people
come out.
that you think, oh, right, so you're
on that.
basically like making excuses and,
You're a
oh, that
sympathiser.
tells me a lot about you. So when people like Clattenburg and one or two others I'm not going to name come out and make those kind of
Clattenburg you're
statements,
naming.
Mourinho,
Well, I thought
things like
Sergio
that.
Aguero's comments were tasty.
Sergio Aguero.
Yeah.
I
Disgusting.
think, oh, right. You've now been exposed as the type of person you are. So any respect I had for you prior,
Gone.
okay, we know you're a great footballer,
So what?
but any other, I know exactly the kind of person you are.
Yeah.
Because these things are about right and wrong. For you to be coming out and making statements like that shows me that you're a piece of whatever. But anyway, to go back to Vinny Jr., yeah, great goal. Loved the celebration. And it couldn't have been any more fitting,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Perfect end to the story, you know?
Yeah, and you know, Champions League win. I'll continue.
Yeah.
Round of 16.
That's
By
for
the way,
Benfica as well. I remember I
the-
was in holiday in Portugal a couple of years ago, and I was in Lisbon, and I met some Benfica fans. And at the time I was like, yeah, man, Benfica. We spoke about the club, the history, and all that. But whenever Benfica gets mentioned now, I can't help but think about them in a very derogatory light.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
thanks.
it's also one of the things. Like it is also the actions of a few.
Yeah, it's not just the
same
player.
level. the manager,
for
the
example,
club.
last night there were also some Real Madrid fans doing who were evicted
Yeah,
from the
and
stadium
that's
for
just-
doing
yeah.
some really
Exactly. But do you
beyond
know
tasty
what-
stuff as well.
do you
But I
know-
wouldn't then go, oh, that is Real Madrid.
Yeah, but do you know what it is? It's the difference in actions between both clubs. So Prestiani was obviously accused of what he said about Vinicius Jr. and the club straight away is posting videos saying, oh, well, he didn't say it. Do you know what I mean? Almost supporting him.
Well,
Whereas Real Madrid...
have you seen some of the stuff they tweeted after
Yeah,
as well
exactly.
with the
some
players?
of the, exactly. Some
like,
of the things
yeah.
they tweeted after was just so disgusting.
mad.
Whereas Real Madrid,
Yeah.
they saw that guy. He was immediately taken out of the stadium. He's been put on a lifetime ban straight away.
Yeah.
So you see the two differences. One club that almost supported someone who's allegedly done a moment of racism, and another club that's seen some seen racism and said we're not doing that at all.
And the fact that they even took that
it.
guy to Spain was just an insult, man. To me, everything they did with that was just so treacherous.
Yeah, it was really bad.
I could never look at Benfica in the same light again, ever. To me, that club will
It's very
always
sad,
be...
to be honest.
And it is sad, because prior to that, I had no beef, obviously. Benfica, like I said, on holiday, I met some Benfica fans at the hotel we were staying at, and everything's all good. But now, I look at that club and I think, they're dead to me, man. Dead to me.
Now, I think we have to... we've got to address something here.
Okay.
We've got to address the a poll that Sky Sports put out earlier on today. So Sky Sports are doing a, ask the player Q&A question, Sky Sports fan club thing with Declan Rice.
Yeah.
I believe. And they put a poll out saying, is Declan Rice a contender for the Ballon d'Or?
Why not?
And some of the comments are saying, so let's find a couple of them. Says, Ballon d'Or for passing backwards and sideways, says JDC. We've got Zubimendi and Tonali are levels above Rice and Caicedo. We've also got some people saying that Caicedo is well more rounded than Declan Rice.
Oh.
A lot of anti-Declan Rice.
That's so funny.
At the moment.
That's actually hilarious.
But
to me,
is Declan Rice
absolutely
a Ballon d'Or contender?
Absolutely. I said already, right? If Declan Rice, the reality is Declan Rice is in contention to win 4 competitions this season at domestic level. We're not even talking about World Cup, where he is 100% going to start, because Thomas Tuchel's already said Declan Rice and Elliot Anderson are nailed into my midfield. He said that in the last international break, where he said those two are ahead of the others. So you already see, for England, he's definitely going to start, and England have a chance to win a World Cup. Right now, Arsenal are leading in the Premier League. They're in the final of the Carabao Cup. They look very strong in the Champions League, where they've conceded 4 goals. They've not lost a single game. You think about the teams they played in that. Bayern, Atletico, Inter. Do you know what I mean? So strong. And Declan Rice has single-handedly won Arsenal games. Like, let's not pretend he's a scrub. People say, oh, he passes backwards. We're talking about a guy, since he's joined Arsenal, every year his output has gotten better and better and better. Came in as a 6. All of a sudden, we're looking at it going, wow, our defence has completely changed. We're now conceding some of the least goals that we've ever conceded in such a long time. Then we're like, this guy's too technically brilliant. We're going to have to move him into left 8, where actually he probably should be more on the right, but he's just mastered that. We're looking at set pieces. The guy's the heart of almost every set piece we take, every free kick, every corner. So yeah, he is in contention for a Ballon d'Or. If he goes on and he wins, multiple things and a World Cup, you can't sit here and say he can't win it.
This is the criteria. This is what I wanted to ask you about, is the criteria of
He's a favourite to win Player of the Year in the Prem.
Entertaining the idea that he's he's in the mix for the conversation of obviously winning the Ballon d'Or and stuff.
Yeah.
What would it take? Because for me personally, let's say Arsenal win the league, I'm not then going Declan Rice is ours.
Oh yeah, I agree. So
it would
for
have
me,
to be more than it have to be integral for winning the World Cup, or as well as the
Declan
Premier
Rice
League,
would
as well
have
as
to
possible
do,
Champions League.
in my personal opinion, is that I see it like this. There's 2 play. I think there's another player that I generally think has a really good shot at winning a Ballon d'Or, and that's Harry Kane, because he's silently scoring all these goals in the Bundesliga. He's top of the league by 10 points. He's very strong in the Champions League. If he wins that and he wins the World Cup, you have to say Harry Kane could win a Ballon d'Or. Do you know what I mean? But if Declan Rice was to win the Premier League, get PFA Player of the Year, which he's favourite to do at the moment, I saw they put out a poll, he's 50%, most likely, at the moment. If he goes on to win the Champions League and maybe even the World Cup, or plays quite high in the World Cup, why can't he win Ballon d'Or? We sat here and said Rodri won the Ballon d'Or for what? He won the Euros and the league. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and you think about the amount of goals he's scoring, assists, it's actually not untenable. It's not likely, but you can do it.
I'm of the belief that Rice can.
Dylan. Let Declan Rice get in Ballon d'Or shouts. Do you think man could be in this chat telling me about Caicedo? I swear down, I will lock that off for the rest of my days. That name will be blocked. Do you think Matisse could ever chat to me? I told Matisse, when Declan Rice was put up for that Puskas and he finished second, I said, Matisse, for your brother's own sake, don't let him win that Puskas, bro. Don't. Because every time someone's asked Declan Rice a question, he's answered, oh, you're going to Arsenal, can you do it? yeah, he's done it. He's become our most important player. People are now saying he needs to be. You hear every legend every week. Oh, he needs to have the armband. You know what I mean? All these different things. Oh, can he score goals? Yeah, he can. Mate is doing it against Real Madrid. What's the question now? If he goes on and he wins major honours of Arsenal this season and he wins multiple major honours, why can't he win a Ballon d'Or? Genuinely, why can't he?
No, that's
Like,
that's what I would like. I understand why the Ballon d'Or conversation around Rice exists, because he's been one of the best players in the Premier League this season. Arsenal finished, what was it, 8 out? You finished 8 out of 8 wins in the Champions League.
Yeah.
And England are one of the favourites. So if all that stuff combined,
He played in every game but two.
Because obviously the chat are talking, you know, it's if buts and maybes. But
Yeah, of course.
But
that's for every. That's for every player. Exactly.
Let's say Real Madrid, because I'm also sat here being like, Mbappe has been on another level this year. Like, this year he's got like 69,
well, even
70 goals.
Think about
Crazy.
Mbappe last season. The records he broke.
Yeah.
He was unbelievable.
After, by the way, a poor start to the season, he ended up
He was
balling out.
unbelievable, but he didn't get to win the honours that he probably deserved. So that kind of discounted his Ballon d'Or run. Whereas we're sat here saying, wow, Declan Rice has a good chance of winning the league, the Carabao Cup, you know, even the Champions League. You can't really sit here and say Arsenal aren't one of the favourites to win the Champions League, considering they've won every single game in it comfortably as well. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of them ones. He can do it, man. Big him up.
It's like I think all it is he's done step one, which is because the Ballon d'Or seems to be a bit of like a.
It's 3 categories, isn't it?
Well, it's 3 categories, but also it feels like it actually takes into account like 2 years rather than 1.
Yeah,
like why was Cole Palmer like? What was it?
Exactly.
What was he?
No,
he was in.
Well, I say that when
he was
Messi,
one of the top ones because the season before he was amazing.
Exactly.
They seem to count like 2 seasons.
There's a lot of
and
names
Rice has
in
back to back had very, very good seasons.
Yeah.
But it can all very quickly come crashing down.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's say you end up dropping another 3 points.
Yeah.
City can then go on and win the league.
Or look at Mo
Then,
Salah.
No, he should be nowhere. Yeah, Mo
Mo Salah's a perfect example
Great
where,
example.
you know, you had AGT and that saying he should be winning the Ballon d'Or. I don't know if he finished in the top 5. That's
actually, there's an interesting comment
That's the
here
reality.
from JDC that says Saliba and Gabriel have been more impactful than Declan Rice. Would you agree?
It's hard to say, innit? I think Gabriel. So it's hard. I don't want to talk about Ballon d'Or, but if we're talking about PFA player
Also,
of the
by the
season,
way, we do
right?
have a poll going on at the moment in the
mixed
chat.
vote.
If you do want to have your say on the whole Rice Ballon d'Or situation,
If we're talking about PFA player of the season, if I could nominate 2 of my own players up for it, it would be Gabriel and it would be Declan Rice. I think Saliba's almost like become a victim of his own talent, in the sense that we look at him and it's like, oh, he's been top level like this all the time. Whereas it's kind of like Gabriel's kind of before being the underrated centre-back, and now people are like, this guy's serious. Do you know what I mean? Declan Rice, he's being compared to this player, and now people are looking at it like, actually, yeah, he's kind of clear. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah. I mean, look, Laurie, I know you said earlier in the show you're going to say less, but I didn't think you'd say this much less.
No, I'm waiting for you guys to finish.
What's your take on it then?
I kind of agree with what Kenya said. I think it's a little bit early to start talking about Ballon d'Ors right now with the season as it is. Still so much to play for, but Kenya is right. If we go on and win a couple of trophies this season, namely the Premier League and another, then it would be difficult not to have. I mean, when you consider that Declan Rice has been one of our most pivotal players this season. Yeah. And if we go on and win, say we win 2, maybe 3 trophies, how could he not be in it? Because he would be one of our best players. That's enabled Arsenal to attain that level of success. So, yeah, absolutely.
There's one question here which I love, so I'm going to read it out from Monroe Moyes. It says, if Bruno breaks the assist record, United finish 3rd, and he then wins the World Cup playing a major role with Portugal, would he have a shout at the Ballon d'Or? I would also...
Not winning it, but he has a shout and placing quite high, maybe, depending on what everybody else does. That's the thing about Ballon d'Or. It's also contingent on what everybody else does.
Yeah.
So although Bruno could have that amazing season, imagine we could say, let's say Vitinha goes on and wins the treble with PSG. That kind of discounts it because he's Portuguese.
I think
as well.
if Bruno was to do that, we're talking possible podium here, though. I do think if he breaks that assist record in the Prem,
for winning the World Cup,
wins the World Cup, or also let's say United go on to have an end of the second half of the season.
Yeah. So I'll tell you why that won't happen.
Second.
Because if Portugal win the World Cup,
you know what Ronaldo. Forget that. Yeah, I forgot about him.
I don't think Ronaldo wins the Ballon d'Or.
What do you mean?
Portugal
He's top of the Saudi league right now, mate.
He was winning the Ballon d'Or.
No, wait.
Wow.
No, Dylan. Don't let Ronaldo get 1K goals, right, and win the World Cup. Do you think you man could be talking about Bruno? You know they do anything to give Ronaldo that Ballon d'Or.
I'm talking Bruno aside. Are you saying that if
They do anything to give Ronaldo that Ballon d'Or?
won the World Cup, they would give
Of course they
Ronaldo
would.
Ballon d'Or?
No, wait. Can I say
course.
something to you, right? Why are we acting...
Where did he play
No,
last year?
No, Dylan, why are we acting like Messi didn't win a Ballon d'Or for, scoring 3 penalties when Erling Haaland did a treble in his first season in the Premier League?
I think that was the
He
wrong
came in and broke every single record and didn't win
Are you
it.
telling me that if Portugal win the World Cup, they're going to elevate Bruno over Ronaldo?
They generally wouldn't. And do you know what? This is... No.
You're having a laugh.
I said
No.
podium.
No, wait. I just want
I
to
said
say,
he
right?
could be in chat for the
If
podium.
Portugal
Wait.
win the World Cup,
I just
full
want to
stop.
say...
If Portugal win
Yeah.
the World Cup, full stop,
But
Ronaldo wins.
surely it depends what Ronaldo does in the World
No.
Cup. Let's say Ronaldo
No.
stinks up the gaff, but Portugal win the World
Oh,
Cup.
wait.
Let's say because João Neves gets player of the tournament, they're going to go, João Neves, player of the tournament, Ronaldo, here's a Ballon d'Or.
No, Dylan, let me tell you, right? I actually agree with what you're saying. It would be one of them ones. The thing is with
It would be
this...
a disgraceful
Exactly,
decision.
but the reality is the Ballon d'Or is a very political award. We've seen that already. They'll do anything
It is
to
a
give
joke,
it.
to be fair.
They'll do anything to give it to their darlings. Do you know what I mean? So we've seen that over the years where maybe a Messi and Ronaldo have won a Ballon d'Or and someone like a Lewandowski
astonished
who
that
should
you
have
don't
won it
recognise
didn't.
that.
That's what I'm saying.
You know
It's
how
one
this
of
world
them ones where I genuinely think Bruno could have an all-time season, right? If he won World Cup with Portugal, do you think they'd be telling us about Bruno? You think they wouldn't try and rob him for Ronaldo? Bro, come on.
We don't live in America.
We've seen this already with Messi and Haaland.
Dylan,
bro.
I'm sorry to have to.
I'm not even talking
sorry to
about
have
Bruno.
to-
I'm actually backing
sorry
you.
to
Like, I'm
have
on your
to.
side. This is corruption of a next level.
sorry
You
to-
can't buy it.
Can I just
Yeah.
say this? Genuinely, I'm
Are you
surprised
going to
that you
burst
don't
my
agree.
bubble here?
Huh?
Are you going to burst my
No,
bubble
but
here?
I'm genuinely surprised that you can't see what we're saying. If Ronaldo is in that squad, he will.
They will do
listen.
anything.
Politics will come.
He's
into
already
play
met
and
Donald
everything
Trump.
Else will be
Oh my God.
Yeah, but
Oh my God.
yeah, but the US don't decide the Ballon d'Or.
Brother, do you think they won't decide that World Cup win?
You know how the Ballon d'Or.
You know how these things go.
No, I know how the Ballon d'Or. I mean, we when we did the live stream for the show, we couldn't believe what some of the things that were coming out.
Exactly.
So why are you surprised at what we said then?
Because I don't think Ronaldo. I know this is a mad thing
No.
to say, but
Okay.
considering what Ronaldo's done in the last few years, as he goes to Saudi, who
Yeah.
he's aligned himself with, and the way the direction he's
I com-
going,
look-
I don't know how much France football would want to touch him and touch that. Over the
I
likes of their
completely
darling
agree,
boy
right?
Mbappe, over the likes of the other players that Portugal have and love, or
I
the
agree
English
with
players
you.
at the moment, or someone like Harry Kane.
But I actually agree with you, right? But I just think throughout the years, it's already been proven that any way that we can get Messi or Ronaldo in, we're going to do it. Look at that.
I can see FIFA doing it. I can see FIFA giving him their the best award, but I can't
Well,
necessarily see France football because remember it's not connected
Why not?
anymore.
Because I think if you look at Messi, right? Messi basically has shown that he doesn't like PSG or he didn't enjoy his time at PSG. He's been very open about his feelings towards that, right? PSG at the moment are the biggest club in France. So France football didn't feel any way about it by they still gave him the Ballon d'Or when in reality he didn't deserve it. Erling Haaland deserved that Ballon d'Or clear as day. He came in first season.
Yeah.
You know, broke a record that, I don't know, some ancient guy from Everton did about 100 years ago. God knows how long ago, right? He came in, broke all those records, did a treble with City in his first season, did the one thing that Man City have been trying to do for years, which is win the Champions League, right? And he still didn't win it. And Messi,
2003,
in my
like,
personal
when
opinion,
by
wasn't
all
even the
accounts-
best
I was
player for
2 years
Argentina in that
All right, so
before.
let me tell you a little. So I was
you
alive.
forgetting 2003? I was 2.
I was alive. So let me enlighten you about. Okay, right.
Yeah,
go on,
Thierry
go on,
Let
Henry.
me enlighten you about 2003 when Thierry
when
Henry
Nedved
was
won.
beyond doubt the best player in the world. You know who got the Ballon d'Or?
Was
that
it
year?
Nedved?
Yeah,
That was the
Nedved.
Nedved
Nedved.
season. Yeah.
I'm telling
You
you
got
now.
like eight league goals or
Yeah.
something.
I'm telling you now. These things are not determined. who's the
political,
best
honestly.
player. It's political.
I just
and if Ronaldo,
don't think
let me
they would
finish.
touch Ronaldo.
They would.
I'm surprised you said that. honestly.
Because I think
The
FIFA
man
would.
is closing in on 1,000 goals, and then he goes to the World Cup at 41 or 42 and wins the World Cup.
In
and
his
you tell me
last
you don't get it.
in his last ever appearance in international football. I
Bro.
promise you do you know what? And it's actually a sad reality. I'm just telling you this so you don't hurt yourself in the future because I actually care about you as a friend. But they would do it. We've seen it time and time again. They actually don't necessarily care about maybe these young up and they'll look at someone like Erling Haaland like, oh, you can go and do that again. They'll look at it like they'll look at Mbappe and be like, "Oh, you can always go and win a
it's-
double
How old are you?
with Real
How old are
Madrid."
Cancel 25.
So
Cancel the
you
award. If this
you are-
happens, by the way, cancel the award.
You know what? You're 25.
Well, last year they tried to
word
give
ahead of
Lamine
you,
Yamal
and
the
you're
Ballon d'Or.
blissfully naive, and I say that
No,
in
I
a loving
wouldn't
way.
say I'm naive.
Blissfully so. I don't mean you're purposefully so. You're one of those guys. You believe in meritocracy. You believe in
The
creativity.
character
You
assassination.
believe in all those concepts, right? And like we said,
some
you are
extent.
right. But what you're not taking into account is how the world really works.
I
What
just-
we're saying,
I
is,
just
Yeah.
don't-
what we're saying is, this award is not strictly given on meritocracy.
It's never given on.
Right.
It's
Exactly.
never
So
done.
what
Like,
we're
we've
saying
seen
to
this.
That's what we're trying to say.
If
No,
you
no,
have
I
a,
know- I
hang on,
know
let me
this.
finish.
Okay.
I know this.
Let me finish. If you have a 41-year-old Ronaldo who's been,
Right.
everybody knows him right across the planet, right? And he's closing in on that 1,000-goal Pele record.
Uh-huh.
And in the same year, he inspires Portugal to win their first ever World Cup. Do you think
It's
in
more.
any-
It's more. I do also think it's down to.
Anyways.
How, okay, let's say Ronaldo.
It's
okay,
not.
I'm going to give you a scenario. Ronaldo, first game, 25 minutes in, pulls his hammy. Portugal then go win the World Cup. He doesn't play.
Yeah, but that's-
another minute. Are they still going to give it to him? He does his. That's because.
But if he plays a part, if he plays a part
Yes,
in that
but,
World Cup,
but that's what I'm talking about. I'm saying it's not as black and white as Portugal win. He
He
gets
would have
it.
to take
I'm
something
saying
like
he
that.
He will have to actually do something.
if he plays in
order
the
to-
majority of those
Messi-
games,
Messi, when he won it, he still scored. What was he? He scored some lovely goals. He scored some
Yeah, but
penalties.
I'm
he scored
pretty
that
sure
lovely goal
all of it-
against Nigeria.
I'm
as
pretty
well,
sure he
where
scored
scored
what?
an amazing goal.
Two open play goals. The rest
but
were
he
wasn't
penalties.
the best player in that World
So
Cup.
for example, no, my
But he
example
did
is
something. I'm saying
no,
if
I'm
Ronaldo,
not
let's say,
disagreeing.
Stinks the gaff up. Even if Portugal win the World Cup, there is still a scenario where he can win. They can win the World Cup, and he doesn't get it.
he would have
I'm
to
not
take
disagreeing.
extreme.
Yeah, it would have to take extreme circumstances. We're only saying this because we've seen the realities. You should know this already.
I've seen the realities.
We've
I
seen
know
the
this.
realities of this award. We already
Yes,
know.
I have.
They will do.
I slated
I'm
it
just
a couple months ago.
I'm just sat here saying, we sat here right this time last year, and people were generally saying, "Oh, maybe Lamine Yamal deserves a Ballon d'Or over Ousmane Dembele." I genuinely couldn't believe what I was hearing over a man that basically won every trophy available. Oh my God, cemented himself as a legend over this guy that was nah.
Either way, I will run. If Portugal win the World Cup, I will run the most disgraceful Bruno Fernandes propaganda you will ever see.
He will make the list, but he ain't
I will
finishing.
run
He ain't finishing
If
podium.
he breaks that assist record,
Wait, why
and
would-
wins
wait.
the World Cup?
Why would he finish in the top three? Let's consider, right? You have Mbappe, you have Harry Kane in there. Do you know what I mean? Let's say Bruno has them in the final, but those two have won either they've won their league or the Champions League.
No,
Like-
but as you said, it's dependent on what
Yeah.
others do.
Because I think if we look at
But
the
at the same time, let's say he breaks that assist
It's hard to
record.
say, innit?
Let's say he gets like 21, 22 premises, which is not likely.
Yeah.
But this is obviously
on 12 at the
this
moment,
is
isn't he?
going back to the scenario this comment presented with us.
Yeah.
Right. Let's
It's a
say
good
he does
question, by
that.
the way.
Let's say he does 21, 22 assists. United end up finishing third, literally a few points off you. Let's say we end up finishing like 6 points behind you.
Which ain't gonna happen,
right?
nothing.
Well, we're like 10 behind now.
Yeah, but
It's not out the realms of possibility. Let's say that happens because, again, the question is they finish third, Bruno breaks the assist,
Yeah.
and then Bruno goes on and plays a huge role in Portugal winning the World Cup.
yeah.
I don't see why he can't be called one of the best midfielders in the world.
No,
for that
no one's
season.
disagreeing with
'cause
that.
I think right now he's the best midfielder in the Prem in
Yeah, but
terms of recent form.
I've said this before. Being one of the best players in the world, or being the best player in the world, as I pointed
Doesn't
out
guarantee,
back in
yeah.
2000, doesn't guarantee you a Ballon d'Or. These are
No,
political.
Look at Erling Haaland.
I'm just
And
saying.
I'm saying to you
Wait,
that-
what is this poll?
What did
What
Jason-
is this poll?
What did
bro?
he put in?
It says, "Is Dylan getting too upset over Bruno?" This is crazy. No,
We
all
don't
I'm
talk
saying is
about
I feel he should be in.
Bruno.
If that were to happen, he should be in the conversation.
Dylan, stop being
Jason
upset.
Jason, you're this. You got. He's
Big
sending
up,
me.
Jace.
He's sending me private messages saying stop getting upset.
Okay, yeah. Anyways, that's what we were trying
Anyways,
to say.
what else were we going to talk about? Oh yeah, Spurs. Let's all laugh at Spurs
Oh,
for a minute. Basically,
perfect.
Igor Tudor today had his press conference, and he said the results at the moment for Spurs are a matter of life and death.
He's not wrong.
But also he says that Kevin Danso and Pedro Porro are due to return against Fulham, and he's also played down the video about the Mickey van der Ven thing, saying. Obviously, because we had the whole video at Mickey van der Ven. He basically played it down. Obviously, he would. And then Nuno says that it's going to be a fight.
I know English
to
is
go
not
to
his
Liverpool.
first language, but I do find that term a little unfortunate, to be honest.
What time?
Life and death, because football and sport is not life and death. Nowhere near.
Nah, it's much more than that.
People who have suffered bereavements recently, would look at that and think, come on now.
I see what you're saying.
Respectful.
Yeah, but I think in the
However,
context of what he's trying to say, I see what he's saying.
Yeah, in the context of what he's trying to say, absolutely. If Spurs go down, then yes, of course, it's going to feel like, metaphorically speaking. But I do find that term a little unfortunate. I hope not being a bit too, how can I put it? Serious, but yeah, it's not life and death, is it?
No, I don't.
I don't know. I think it is, to be honest.
No, it's not.
I think it's.
I think Abby was sat here saying that she pays £1,300 for her season ticket.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Imagine
she's going to die then if
No, she's not going to. But I mean it in terms,
as Ty says,
in football terms. In football terms.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
These results are possibly the.
Death. It could
in
be.
Football terms, the death of Tottenham Hotspur as a Big Six team. Obviously, not the death of Tottenham Hotspur.
I completely agree. I just
as
think
a Big Six club,
if
they're going to need to start paying entry fee if
they were to
back.
go down, that literally ruins them.
Big Five.
Like
it becomes Big Five.
No, they just get replaced. They just get replaced with a
I don't think
Newcastle,
so.
or they get
I
replaced.
don't think so.
They will get replaced with a Newcastle and Aston Villa. That's literally how it will happen.
I don't think it becomes another Big Six with another team. I think it just becomes Big Five.
No,
There's still
I
too big of a gap between those five and then like Villa and Newcastle.
I don't disagree, but I think the reality is with the Prem, especially this season and last season, you've already seen maybe those teams like your Aston Villas, your Newcastles, like those mid-club table teams before where you'd be like, oh yeah, whatever. They've actually kind of shown that they're trying to grow, they're trying to achieve big things, you know what I mean? They actually have the potential in the long term maybe to fulfill that spot. And I think the Prem would look at it like, yeah, we actually could.
But like the kind of like the Big Six, Big Five thing isn't. There's no actual. It's like it's a consensus and a social decision, like just among fans, rather than.
Well, I didn't decide that Spurs were in the Big Six. They're not even a big club to me. Like what? Who decided? Then who decided that?
But
who put them in there? We got an imposter among us.
Are Aston Villa, all things considered, a bigger club than Tottenham?
Don't make me answer that. I've said to Abby already. I've asked Abby multiple times. Are you bigger than Everton?
Spurs?
Yeah. Are you bigger than Everton? Everton have won the league 9 times. Are you bigger
but I
than
don't
Everton?
think it's just down to what you've achieved. I think Spurs is a bit bigger club.
Are you bigger than
Everton?
Everton?
And I don't even like Spurs.
Like, for example, right? I always say, so like when I go abroad, I always see Arsenal shirts, I see Man United shirts, Liverpool shirts. I've never, even when I went to Japan, I didn't
Have you
see
seen any Everton ones?
Yo, it's probably the same amount as I saw Spurs. 0, mate. When I went to Japan, I didn't even see a single Spurs shirt. I saw multiple Arsenal shirts out there. It was actually shocking.
I think Tottenham are potentially a big club. Potentially.
They're actually lucky.
Just like Villa.
Do you know what it is with Spurs, right? I think they're lucky in the sense that they're a London club. I think because they're connected to a club like connected to clubs like Arsenal and Chelsea and have such big rivalries with those clubs who are undeniably Big Six teams, right? They are kind of catapulted into a status that doesn't really befit them, if we're being honest. Like, if we look at a club, if we look at them in terms of fan base size, if they were anywhere else in the country, I don't think we'd be sat here saying they're a big club or they're a top 6.
A significant reason why Spurs are a Big Six club, or can I put
it's
in that
literally
bubble,
location,
is because of Arsenal.
Yeah,
I do think
it's because of Arsenal and Chelsea.
Reason,
genuinely,
but it's part of it. But
it's because of Arsenal and Chelsea.
That can be said the same for all clubs. It's like kind of part of the reason there's a Big Six club at United and City is because it's a local rival. It's a derby. Like people like the Big Six games, the Big Six face-offs generally.
But I still think the reality is like. So, for example, Man United and Man City kind of have their own like identities that they've built themselves, right? Do you know what I mean? Like, they've actually had
City's
these really
obviously accelerated by
Man City's was accelerated, or like
it's not like they didn't exist as a club before.
So, for example, if we go old school, if we say like Liverpool versus Everton at a time where Everton was a really big club and they were actually winning things, it's a thing of like they've actually won things, they've actually put themselves out there. Do you know what I mean? They've got these really big iconic players. You kind of look at Spurs like, okay, you do have some really big iconic players, but maybe not to the same degree as an Arsenal, a Chelsea, a Man United, even a City, or who else am I forgetting? Or a Liverpool, for example. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
But Tottenham, let's be honest, they are potentially a big club. I mean,
exactly.
What are the criteria?
Potentially.
What are the criteria that defines a big club? Right, you're talking about the size of the club in terms of the revenue, the global fan base, historical success,
stadium
the size
size,
of the stadium, trophies won, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
now
history.
Tottenham do have history. You know, back in the
And
believe it or not,
storyline, I think, is obviously a big part of it.
believe it or
which
not,
is
back in the day, they did win trophies. They do have a. So, for example, their fan base, I would say, is much bigger than Chelsea's or Everton's
I'd
or
disagree.
Man City's. Oh, it is, honestly.
I'd say Chelsea's definitely got a bigger fan base than
Tottenham's
Spurs.
potential fan base is bigger than Chelsea's. Trust me.
Nah, I really
They
disagree.
would no. If they were to start doing well, you would see exponentially. There are a lot of what I call dormant Spurs fans because the club's not winning.
I get it.
What,
I hear
No,
it.
but that's
I hear it. Yeah.
Shout
yeah,
out Hassan.
potentially.
You say shout Haas.
Yeah, shout
I
out.
mean, Man City
Dortmund
can
Spurs
get to Man City can get to finals and not even fill out their end.
Yeah.
Don't. Yeah.
That would never happen with Spurs if they were in a final. Trust me.
Yeah. Like
Yeah, but I still think you could say the same for Everton. You could say the same for Aston Villa. Do you know what I mean? They'd fill out their end.
This is a state.
You could say the same for Middlesbrough.
This is the question I want to ask the chat: is if Spurs go down, like in this scenario they go down,
By the grace of
does
God.
it become a big five, or do they get replaced? And if they do get replaced, who is it? It's Villa or Newcastle, realistically.
Yeah, I think they got to fight for it, both of them.
I think it just becomes a big five.
Yeah,
But then as soon as they come back up, it'll be a big six again.
I saw today though. I forgot where I saw it. I saw it on Twitter. I think was it SofaScore or something. They basically put out a ranking of the top 6 clubs in this country that are like the most watched.
Right.
And basically it was all the big 5 and Newcastle, without Spurs in it. So what does that say to you? This is a club that people don't really care to watch. Not
You've got to
really in
remember as
tune
well,
with.
Newcastle are basically a one city club.
Yeah.
Also, is that down to just TV selection? Like kind of
No,
like,
because in
a
this
big
country
team
we're very
going
fair.
to St James's Park
Yeah.
is quite likely to be on TV.
Yeah. Was Spurs not? Well, when Spurs played Newcastle, was that not on TV? Was the North London derby not on TV? Was Liverpool versus Spurs not on TV?
No,
Man
I know,
City.
but
Do you know? Like we're
what I'm
this ain't La
saying,
Liga,
like,
bro.
Are Newcastle picked? Like, is it because they like?
No, I disagree with that.
They want to watch the people,
Especially
who wanna watch
this
TV are like
season.
Newcastle always have a chance against a Big Six team. So it's Sky, we're gonna air it because there's a
Yeah,
solid
but-
chance Newcastle could go 1-0 up as the underdog rather than as the other big club.
Yeah, but you could say that for any team that basically plays Spurs because it's like, well, then you're coming up against
but
a
I'm
big
talking
6
about the
team.
other ones. Like Newcastle
what?
go away. So let's say Man City go away to St James's Park.
Yeah,
right?
that's always
You're not
gonna be
going,
put on TV.
That's 2 big dogs fighting off against each other.
Yeah.
That's the slightly, with all due respect to Newcastle, the plucky underdog against the big Man City
Yeah.
machine. So maybe that's why Newcastle would have so many followers and watchers, because everyone are like they could cause an upset rather
Yeah,
than
I'm
they're a
not-
big club I want to watch them play.
But I do think in this country we divide, even the way we divide TV money and stuff like that, it's actually very fair. It's not like La Liga where essentially all of your best games are either going to be Barca, Atletico or Real Madrid. Do you know what I mean? Everyone gets on TV, everyone gets in them 5 p.m. slots. Who was it the other day we were watching and at 5 o'clock I was like, this is a ball fest. We were watching flipping Bournemouth versus West Ham, mate. Do you know what I mean? That was at 5:30. Like anybody can get in the televised slot. Sometimes your big clubs are. When we played Sunderland, that was at 3 o'clock. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of a biggish. That's actually 2 biggish clubs. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Playing against each other, 2 clubs in the top 10. Like that wasn't even televised. So sometimes, you get your relegation scraps televised. So I think that's a bit of a cop out, if I'm being honest.
Okay, fair enough then. But actually, just on that topic, it's such a good segue.
Okay.
I want to also talk about televising and everything, because the Premier
yeah.
League are launching. So according to the Times, or Richard Masters obviously Richard Masters, CEO of the Premier League, has announced that in Singapore the Premier League are going to be launching their own streaming service.
Wow. Do you know what? Right, I would really love that to happen in this country.
Oh my word!
I just think.
What is it now? It's up to like 140 quid a
Yeah.
month if you want to watch. To
It's-
have access to all the televised games.
It's ridiculous. TNT, Sky, BBC, like Discovery, Amazon, like we just need one place to watch
Netflix
Premier
wanting to bid for it, I
exactly.
think.
You just need one place to watch Premier League football, and that's it. In my personal
Yeah.
opinion, I think we
It's how-
as
it's
Premier
how-
League
how
fans
mostly.
we're getting ripped off.
Forgive me
Yeah,
if
but
I'm wrong. In
will
the
that
US,
work
it's
under
most
a,
of them are on
under
NBC.
a monopoly?
Well,
Because that's
But it's their own
monopolisation,
product.
isn't it?
That's like saying
Or
all
what you
DR
do-
Sports content is on DR Sports YouTube channels.
yeah.
It's 'cause
Or
it's
what?
our content.
What they
It's
should
not
do.
quite the same because it's a national game you're talking about.
No, but we're talking about the Premier League competition. The FA is separate. Like football, obviously, is separate. We're talking about Premier League.
So, for example,
football.
you wouldn't have to watch a 12:30 on TNT and then go over to for 5:30, watch everything on Sky. Do you know what I mean? It would just all
Or
be
then
in one
like
place.
try and find another way to watch. A 3
Yeah,
PM
exactly.
kickoff
And I
or
just think
something.
as well, if we're talking about,
I'm not sure if I'd want that. To be honest.
if you're talking about illegal streaming and you want to cut down on that, that would just cut down on it because you've just got it all in one place. Someone would just, you would just pay
the
for
way
it.
to cut down on illegal streaming.
Just
is to
put it all, just make it
release 3 PM
accessible.
kickoff.
Exactly.
Or-
Make it
yeah, or-
accessible.
yeah, make
us
it
watch
affordable.
Exactly.
Make it
I
more
just think it's
affordable.
crazy, right? If I don't go to a game at 3:00, I can't watch my team. That's crazy to me. Like, do you know what I mean?
I understand why the rule used to exist.
Yeah,
I do
but
get it, to encourage people to
it's
go
outdated
to
now.
games.
Yeah.
But I feel like now, because stadiums fill out in televised games as well.
Exactly.
It's not like it's only the 3 PM kickoffs that fill out stadiums and the rest of them they're half empty because everyone's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'll watch it on TV instead. Like it's getting to the point where going to the games is pretty much price wise, it's the same as the subscription.
Exactly. No, it is.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if at Man United you guys do it, but at Arsenal we categorize our games in so it's category. So playing Man United would be category A.
Yeah.
Playing Real Madrid would be category A. Playing, I don't know, Brentford might be
Are they still
category C.
category A?
Yeah.
United?
No.
Biggest team in the world, mate.
But
Biggest
that's
team in
how
the
they
league.
categorize it and make it more. So I know if I'm going to watch Man United, I'm going to pay more than if I'm going to watch Leeds at home, for example.
Yeah.
Simple as that. But just put it all in one place. There will be no illegal streaming. Everyone
I'm
will
not
be
sure if
happy.
monopolies
Everyone will
work in
watch their.
sport, you know.
Everyone will watch their team.
But I like you call it a monopoly, but it like
Well, it is. If everything's concentrated in one body, that is a monopoly.
yes, but what if it's then so because there are so many people out there who cannot afford to watch their teams play either by going to the stadium or train tickets, for example, because obviously train tickets now are so expensive and teams now they're so accessible in terms of like you can be from London to support Man United, you can be from Bristol and support Arsenal, but then the train from Arsenal to Bristol to North
Yeah, but
London.
what typically happens when something gets monopolised? Shall I tell you what happens? Because it's all centred in one body. Prices just go up. They do what they want because they know there's no competition, which is why we don't encourage monopolies.
that's what prices are up now.
It's so expensive now.
yeah.
Right, it's so expensive
how
now.
are you-
It's
so
about
if it's
130 quid a month, right?
If I
for the
know
250
that I'm
games.
controlling everything, then I can do what I want with the pricing.
Yeah, I get that, but if the Premier League were to
Yeah.
release a monthly subscription,
If.
that's the entire topic we're talking about.
Yeah, but what I'm
because
saying
they
is
have
don't,
released
don't,
it in Singapore.
Don't be fooled. Don't think that if they were able to do that, then they wouldn't start charging sky high prices themselves.
I think it'd probably end up being cheaper though.
Yeah, I think so.
They
as well.
would
Think
charge
about-
it for cheaper.
So,
than
for
currently.
example, like in our house, we pay for Sky, we pay for TNT, we pay for Amazon, we have Discovery. Like, that's 4 different things that I've just named out. Just put it all on one thing. What I'm having to pay, I don't use Amazon, but if I want to watch us play in the Champions League on a random Tuesday night against Club Brugge, I'm going to have to sign up for Amazon to watch it. It's just a joke. Like, just put it all on one thing. Or if anything, you do half on one channel, half on the other, and just make it a set price, and we just pay
I think
for it.
competition works better, to be honest.
But
It's a
what
joke thing.
competition? TNT Sports have 1 game a week.
Exactly.
Sky
at
have
12
all of the rest.
You know, next season as well, that's gone. They got outbid for that as well. So next season we won't even have that TNT.
Yeah. Like if the Premier League were to release a streaming service, you know, where they show all 380 matches over a season versus the current 130 odd quid you pay a month
Yeah.
for the what's about 200-ish, 220
so
games.
expensive.
It wouldn't cost you. The Premier League wouldn't set that price at £150. It would be much cheaper than that. Because all the talk about this for the number of years has been more talking about
during
like 30
COVID
quid.
time they tried to do that pay-per-view and fans were like, well, we're not paying for that, and they had to ditch it.
£10, yeah.
And they had to ditch it.
But if everything was concentrated in just one entity, you think they're not going to
Yeah, but I also
raise
think
prices and do what they want?
It won't be as expensive as how it is
trust
now.
Me, that is why we don't encourage monopolies in this country for exactly that reason.
I'm not disagreeing that could happen.
That is why we don't.
But I also
there's a
do
monopolies
think.
commission and
But
things
it'll
like
be
that.
I also
cheaper.
do think.
It
Football-
won't-
wait, but I also do.
Listen, if
wait,
I know
wait.
that I'm controlling everything, why am I going to make it cheaper just for you?
Yeah, but I also
I'm
do
going to think
think
to myself, you've got to
football
come to
fans-
me. I've got to go to you.
Yeah.
If you want to watch it, you got to come to me. That means you're there to be.
Yeah. I'm not
manipulated.
disagreeing, but football fans have also shown that they'll take a stand about. Look at the Super
Yeah,
League.
they-
The clubs
they-
literally,
they will ju- yeah.
clubs literally said, "Come, we're setting up the Super League," and fans said, "Cool, we're
That's the other side
cool,
of
we're
it as
gonna
well, is-
boycott games."
You're going to stop
Is
watching
let's
football,
say,
right?
huh?
No, people will just find other ways to watch football, like they're doing
I'll
now.
just
and that's
go
why
back to how I watch
exactly
3 p.m. games at the
and
moment.
that's why they're complaining now that there's illegal
Yeah.
streaming, because people will just go and illegally find ways to watch football
Yeah.
instead of paying that extortionate money.
Because there is an alternative, and
Yeah,
it's
there's
that-
always
it's that way of
alternatives
doing
to
it.
get around.
All I'm saying is my experience in life tells me to be very suspicious of monopolies. Because I know
No,
what
fair
tends to
enough,
happen.
fair enough. But also,
when all the
it would be a
power
great-
is...
it would be a great PR move for the Premier League as well if they
Yeah,
made
but
it.
it sounds
30
great.
Quid, 30 quid a month to watch every single
Exactly.
match.
Sounds
Have my money.
idealistic.
Sounds
but
so
trust me,
Bundesliga. I like it.
It sounds very idealistic, but trust me, when things, you know what I mean, when money comes into it, you'll soon see a different side of it.
Isn't it now?
Fair enough. So what? So you're for it.
I'm for
I'd be
it.
for it. You'd be against it.
I'm not saying I'd like to see... I'm be suspicious of it. Put it
Fair
up.
enough. Well, either way, thank you guys so much for coming
Thank
on
you.
live at 5, and also thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the conversation or didn't enjoy the conversation, let us know in the comments about the ballon'dor stuff, Premier League stuff, Champions League games, and also tomorrow I'll be back at 5 p.m. with Abby and you on as well. Yeah, so
back.
me, Kenya, and Abby to preview all the weekend's games. Unfortunately, Alice can't make it because she's still ill. But apart from that, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you at 5 p.m. tomorrow. Cheers.
Welcome back to another episode.
Man, what going for the man then? Let's talk about the Champions League. Arsenal, PSG.
A lot of Arsenal fans were saying that they finally have depth in their team, though.
They have depth, but in terms of like
High-end
top-end quality, I think Liverpool have more.
The answer is simply, there's no excuse. It has to be done now.
Iconic moments in derbies.
Arsenal won the league at Tottenham.
No.
Galatasaray away is never fucking easy, bro.
Well, you're talking about players' ego. Managers have egos. Putting it for his head is
overreactionary.
Is
criticism, I
overreactionary.
feel
No,
like-
When we spend money, yeah, it's, oh, you spent money and you couldn't beat so. And
I think Ekatike has been the only signing
Only,
that's come in
thank you.
that has
Say
looked level.
Say it again.
100%.
Palmer, Lavia, and Caicedo midfield three.
These guys just need to stay fit. The talent is there. If these guys can give us 1 year of just fitness.
This is FCM on DR Sports, and it's live.